award-winning short film wants to bring awareness to abandonment issues and to the struggle to end the stigma of mental health counseling in communities that don't have adequate services. And it's wrapped in a short story that includes time travel and addiction issues. Have a look.
I'm kind of nervous. I've never been to a counselor before.
The journey of 1,000 yards starts with the first step. What's on your mind?
Do you think you can?
After his father leaves the family,
He's not coming, baby.
a black kid grows up to build a time machine to save his mom.
I know you want to save your mom, but this is crazy.
But when he ends up in the year 1860, the real insight begins.
Do you think you can?
Get back inside. Get back inside.
Writer, director Issac Ingram and former NFL player and philanthropist Warrick Dunn are donating the film to youth mentoring programs. And of course, you saw Warrick in there playing the therapist. Well, both are joining me right now. So great to see you. Both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And congratulations on the acclaim, the awards, the attention that this short film is getting. Issac, what provoked this, and why are you targeting this film to particularly at-risk kids and their mentors?
Well, I started my nonprofit Team Freedom Outreach back in 2011, and over the years what I've found is that 85% of kids in detention centers do not have a man living in their household. Many of them suffer from abandonment issues that they don't talk about, and the biggest problem is that they don't talk about it. So what I wanted to do was do a short film that we could use with mentoring programs, so it would give them a sense that they could go and talk about it with their mentors, so that way they could begin to heal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I mean, I watched it. I can see how you're using this film as a tool, to provoke a lot of conversations. And so you're using this, particularly if you're using this in front of a lot of kids, it gives them a lot of springboard moments, to find, some real similarities of their own lives in this time traveling, kind of a depiction. And Warrick, you were in there, you were the therapist, but this is close to home for you too. I mean, you are a part of this film because you too have a real connection to the difficulties that may arise when people want to address, kind of mental health. Why did this production speak to you?
Well, it spoke to me because losing my mom when I was 18 years old, not going to counseling for 10 years and just holding everything on the inside, I can relate to it. And I connected with it, and I just felt like it's important that we talk about mental health, try to get individuals involved in understanding that, because I was a professional football player and athlete, that we all need assistance. And I just want to be able to help people help themselves. I think overall, we need to raise more awareness about the opportunities for definitely minority communities to seek mental health. It's important that we all have a balance in life. And for myself, if I didn't listen to a teammate in the locker room in 2002 when I was in Atlanta, I'd have probably never went to counseling. But I learned just over the years and the impact that going to counseling helped me. It helped push me forward. But also having affluent individuals around me, knowing that they go to counseling. So to really just talk about the opportunities that everyone needs counseling, and we need to make sure that low-income communities have access to that.
I'm so glad one of your teammates said something to you, but then you must also from time to time reflect on how long, you were burdened with those feelings and not feeling like there was a safe place, to express yourself. And so with that in mind, how do you see this as an empowering tool so that people who feel like they want to talk about something can do so early on, regardless of whether they're, an NFL player, or a kid in school, Warrick?
Well, I think, first of all, we need to have individuals like myself come out and talk about mental health, going to counseling. So we need to bring it to the forefront and help kids and parents in our communities understand that this is normal. We all need assistance, but I just think True Freedom Film, this film really talks about the importance of it. And I think if we can get the film out to more individuals, to more people to actually see the opportunity that they have to help their lives. We have kids today that deal with a lot of everyday trauma in their communities. How can we help assist them to keep them balanced long term? This is not about the short term. This is more of a long term. And for myself, learning, after 10 years going to counseling, that I held so much on the inside, and I was mute. I wasn't emotional. I had a lot of things that I just kept bogged in because I was dealing with trauma that I never brought to the forefront, that I couldn't, talk to anyone about. And if I didn't hear that story in the locker room, I don't know if I'd ever started going to counseling, but I became confident over the years. And I got to the point where I even went to see the guy who shot and killed my mom, because that's how confident that I was in myself. And I wanted to come out and share that counseling is important. We need to help each other.
Wow. Well, that then reminds me of the moment in your film, Isaac, about the young man, saying feeling the courage in that moment where he wanted to reach out to his dad for so many years, feeling abandoned. I wish we could talk more about it. We've got breaking news. Issac, Ingram, Warrick, Dunn, really fantastic connecting with you, and congratulations on a really inspiring, enriching, and powerful film.
Hey,
thanks so much to you both.
To tell everybody, if you want to see the film, go to truefreedomfilm.com. And sign up for the screener, and it'll have the screener there, as well as CVS Health, Aetna. They gave a facilitator's guide, so if you wanted to facilitate it in your mentoring programs, truefreedomfilm.com. That's where you can go and download the film and watch it. So thank you so much, Rodrigo. Really appreciate this.
Perfect. Making it available, that's the key.
Yes.
Thank you so much to both of you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Great to see you.
Thank you.
All right.